Let's get it going. We got an intro on up here. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, welcome to the Will This podcast. We are back in the house. Yeah, that's what's happening. But check it out. The Art of Lying, Degraded Humanity Show. That's the show tonight. The Art of Lying, Degraded Humanity. Why you say that, Danny? Well, you think about it. Isn't it how you unjustly gain power from unjust deeds and duties and shit like that? Yeah, that's how that happens. Uh-huh. See, what you do is you manipulate, scheme, and thrive on that. Yeah. So now, the things that you cover up, the things that you don't think that apply, are now becoming applicable because one thing we have now is accountability is becoming so prevalent, such a delicacy in the world. Accountability is becoming a delicacy because people have followed the algorithm of lying and behaving as if they have integrity. Such horrible shit, man. It creates a creature. That shit creates monsters. So we got a world full of, monstrosities. Shit. Yeah, you might as well say that. It's a world full of monstrosities. Just a bunch of habitual. Look at our president. Man, this. Do you see the shit that goes on in front of people's face and they act? Oh, yeah, that's status quo. Yep, that's how it goes. Like, what the? Are you? So wait a minute. So consciousness that's why they hate this whole called woke movement. I call it, awareness and awareness of, you know, their behaviors, their deeds, what they do and how they do it. We're talking about Congress. We're talking about the United States Congress. We're talking about the habitual shitty behaviors of liars. Yeah, on both sides. Don't leave them out. We don't do that on this show. Everybody can get their ass whooped on this one, pimp. Yeah, everybody get that foot up that ass. Yeah, they get that around here because it's necessary. These people are not humble. They have no type of decorum, even with people. They look at us as goddamn roaches and stains and cockroaches and beetles and snails and shit. Some of them polka dog pills. I don't fucking know, man. This shit is crazy. They don't serve us. They serve them damn selves. All of them. When I tell you they be in bed so deep with each other, they used to get, man, these folks used to get fucked up with each other. Yeah, be friends. Oh, we just run together. Oh, fucking come oh, yes. Oh, that's how we do it. Yep. Mm-hmm. We just tell one thing and never do it. Goofy motherfuckers. Yeah, that's how they are. All of them got that. Now they don't even care to have a mouthpiece no more. They just tell you like, fuck it, I'm tired of lying. Yeah, we don't like it. Shit, well, I tell you, that's how liars do. They just, when they don't, that's why I always say, if you are a fan of this podcast, I hope you are. Yeah, check out the website. Yeah, you're going to like it. This is building blocks for you to, think about some things that you can actually participate in and become a better you. But also check this out, right? These people, right? These motherfuckers done gave up on lying. They just said, I ain't lying no more. This is what it is, pimp. And you just gonna have to deal with that shit. Okay? Big beautiful motherfucking bill. Breaking the piss out of everybody, man. This is great. Nah, well, shit is expensive now. So to be honest with you, we knew this shit was coming, so a lot of us have prepared. But a lot of people were was so lenient on the system. See, I understand in some aspects how, let me explain. Let me explain my point of view. I understand perfectly how some people are pissed. Um, and a lot of people that lost their jobs, that shit was horrible. I'm not going to be fun on that. That shit is, my heart go out to you because I understand. I've been there and I can relate as well. So, establishing systems of redundancy and having multiple streams of income, that's at a lot of our, that's at our top of our list, trying to, build something for ourselves that's going to last. It's going to leave a legacy. That's why you don't see me buffooning and cooning. It's not allowed on this show, So what I try and what I make it my business to do is at least let you know you have somebody to relate to that's a real person just like you. I'm not a fucking star. I'm not a suit. I'm a human. I'm a regular person. I ain't trying to be no star either. I'm not. I don't. You don't see me promoting my cash out for you and all of that kind of stuff. This is a get it out the mud grassroots show, and I feel like if my voice and my presence is heard, and with you, beautiful, wonderful, amazing people, pushing it out there for me, I do the same for you. I like, love, share. I'm very tangible. You know what I'm saying? That's why I ask you guys if you wanna become a true alumni. And, send me an email to willispodcast@gmail.com. You know what I'm saying? willispodcast@gmail.com, no spaces. Also, you can check me out and sign up to the willispodcast.com. You just go to the website and go ahead and sign up. Click the link. Become a true alumni. Yeah, that's how you get down like that. I also have a nice, fresh clothing line. These clothes, I'm waiting on my stuff in the mail right now. Oh, hell yes, I am. Waiting to get my nice attire. I'm testing it out. You'll see me wearing every bit of the shit I designed. It's nice. WillThisPodcast.com. It's fresh. It's clean. It's going to take care of you, too. It can wrap you up real good because it's going to get cold. You know what I'm saying? So I got some nice jean bomber jacket with the sheet, what I'm saying, up top, all organic material too. So we ain't slaughtering, we building a better humanity around here. So we got partners with Alibaba, what I'm saying, Shopify, you know what I'm saying, we doing our thing. We intrinsic with other, business. Shout out to my brother, Jason Carter. Shout out to United States Marine Corps. We've been brothers for 30 years. So we got, the Ascension and the Will This Podcast have became partners to really put out a hell of a clothing line. You know what I'm saying? So all my Marine Corps brothers out there, what I'm saying, we trying to keep ourselves from keep the animals from being extinct. You see that beautiful indigenous American animal behind you? That's going to be on my clothing. Picking a fabric that you show how valuable and just educating you on something new, something fresh, something new, something fly. And look what you're doing. You're becoming indigenous again. You're loving wildlife. You're appreciating who you learn things from. Cats had a great deal to do with how we are civilized today. Understand? That's the facts. Look it up. Yeah, cats, how they are, their mannerisms and how their prowess and how they they take care of their tribe or their, what I'm saying? Like you got lions and you have the different ways that cats behave. But I promise you, cats are some of the most unique. I mean, if you got a whole bunch of big ass cats, man, we want to be who we are. Have you ever seen goddamn Sandman on Netflix? That shit will open up your eyes about the prowess and the intelligence of the feline species. It's pretty dope, man. So I'm always here trying to open up your mind, helping you understand how to think because the art of lying degraded humanity. So when Dr. A, yeah, we gonna get in it thick, but right now this just this is a pre-show. And I have nothing but pleasure into giving you such good commentary because I do a show every day, every other day when I feel like it. Sometimes I do too. That's how I get out. I have a lot to share. This show has been in the works for 5 years. Took my time, and I finally just said, "Well, I'm gonna take off." So none of my materials pre-written, and none like that. I just have a secure mindset about myself. I am a very secure being. I'm a very secure man. So therefore, I don't have to do a whole lot of um, free nothing. I'm naturally who I am and how I am specifically, for the world to see. Excuse me. So yeah, check it out, man. We waiting on Dr. AE to get in, but let me tell you how. Let's get to the how lying really degraded humanity. Because if you think about it, when you lie, you alter reality. When you're not good on your word, you're altering reality within the human lexicon and space. And space is because we don't have a whole lot of degrees of separation anymore. You remember how they used to say we had 6 degrees of separation. Oh, that's all 6 degrees. Now imagine with social media. We're now in clusters of degrees of a conundrum of there is no separation, so we're broken down into clusters. You understand what I'm saying? So when you have a cluster-based uh, globe, that means we have these different tribes. You understand how this works now? So, and when you have these tribes, these clusters of tribes, they identify their customs and their differences, their likes and their dislikes. So you know who can be your neighbor, your friend. You know who you want to deal with, who you won't deal with. You know who you can raise a family with. You know who is outside of your boundaries. But see, some clusters now, they just don't even escape their clusters. They practice such a high level of xenophobia to where they find the other ends of their cultures and they still practice this too close of genetic relationships, which we know some nations do practice, and that fuse that's incest. That's all. You shouldn't be that close in DNA to nah. Mm-mm. Damn all that third cousin, damn all that. Crossing genes, you need an amalgamation of DNA to cross genes. So, due to the fact that some people are extremely uneducated about genes and how we all share DNA globally, but that close mixing of genes is a likeness of retardation or something that's gonna uh, 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 it's not a good thing. It's no. So the creators of race, which is the reason why the world was so amalgamated and different, was because of the amalgamations of races and conquering of different nations and things of this nature. We're waiting on Dr. AE to come in, but anyway, let me finish this point real quick for you. Got about 4 minutes before we jump in here. So, what I'm really alluding to is when people become xenophobic, they uh, they have an extreme uh, dislike for other kinds of people, and due to the fact that in those little unique pockets of those clusters, there's a lot of filth that goes on. They don't want any outsiders looking in. They don't want anybody to see the kind of shit that they do. So, in a natural order form, when you're discovered, you say, you're not supposed to know these things, so you lash out. Just like when a person finds out they're not as intelligent as they think they are. What's the first thing that they do? Shout out to Doe List. What's the first thing that they do? Sean Stafford, my partner, man. It's like it's my brother, my spiritual equivalent. Shout out to my brother Dr. Akil, which is my big brother. And shout out to my other brothers. Y'all know who you all are. And my sisters that are so valuable to me that you understand how you embrace, my thought patterns and how I help you as well. But also shout out to my beautiful wife because of you know, the connection, the exception, the acceptance of a soulmate. And shout out to my mama because it's her birthday today. Shout out Mama Dukes. We love you so much. We appreciate you for me even existing. So yeah, we're gonna do all of those things. Shout out to my mom. I love my mother. Yes, indeed. So yeah, but check it out. The art of lying never serves no one a story of great endings. See, you can't act as if the truth isn't relevant simply because two reasons. The truth is what keeps civilization on a track to another space of existence. We all have, but the problem is the improper placement and the improper treatment of other humans have made it impossible for us to, sort of look at this thing together. So when you have a demented, twisted uh, fool that wants power and control, i.e., Elon Musk, like the dummies of the world, who sits in the White House. Cankles, McTaco tits is what what is it? Goddamn man and white ladies, they so goddamn funny. Y'all should check them. They are funny as shit. They call this man Tanko Cankles McTaco tits. Oh shit. I almost fell out laughing when I heard that. I'm like, when I think about taco tits, you think about them, the man with the man boots that sits outside and shit like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? The cankles, and then he got them big ass ankles. And oh, that shit was fucking. My mind is very vivid. So the shit that went on in my brain, oh my fucking gosh, oh shit, man, it's too funny. Cankles make taco tits. Shit, boy, that's a good one. Let me see where we at. All right, 9:15. Where's AE? Where is AE? I'm waiting on him to come on in here now. Shit, yeah, man. But anyway, now you get to see why, the dominant society don't like being truthful about shit. Nothing. You see why now? They're just a bunch of fucking sycophants. I'm telling you, man, these people are amazingly fucking terrible. I mean, if you think about this Jeffrey Epstein shit, like, come on, man. You think about the shit that this man used to do, and it's all out here. And these girls, these ladies are out here talking they shit. Now you even got a cave lady, MGT. Oh, the phenotype of a cave lady, the Neanderthal, that got a damn conscience. I swear, oh shit, I said MGT got. She said these ladies, they deserve justice. I'm like, go ahead, MGT. I can't think you say the right thing with your little dwarf ass. But anyway, I swear that little old thing. I swear, she got a soul. I guess. But that's bullshit. That's y'all know she's trying to play for some positions and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what that bitch. She ain't no good. You remember when what's the black dude in New York had a conversation with her ass and she was trying to like, oh my god, he wants me, right? I'm sorry, she didn't go that far. She was really yeah, she had that whole fucking he's about to touch me. Oh my god. Yeah, she had that look in her damn face and she was crazy. Come on in, bro. Come on. Come on. Hold on, y'all. Let me tell him to go ahead and join the damn show. Give me a second. Join now. Yeah. Yeah, I'm back, y'all. I'm waiting on him to come in. so we can add to the good old commentary. We've been putting down tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, this show about to come to an end. Trump was like, on his last leg and shit. I'm looking over here because I'm waiting for Aid to come in. When he come in, I want to make sure I see him on the show and shit. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you got the invite. All right, there you go. There go my brother. Here we go. We're gonna turn him on. Yep. Hey. Uh-oh.
Hey,
Hold
good
on.
evening, brother.
Oh yeah, let me get the screen right here. Let me get the screen right. Yeah, hold on, peoples. My brother, there we go. All right, here we go. Let's go here. How we doing, my brother? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Oh shit, I can't hear you. Hold on. Let me make sure. Let me see what I need to do. Damn, I forgot this. My volume on this motherfucker. Hold on, let me try this. Let me gotta cut this. Damn. Let's do this. Audio. This. Let's see. Damn. Oh, damn. Audio. Let me see what I can do here. Let's see if we got to go with the iPad, Mike. Let me see. All right, brother, talk. Say something. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hardly hear you.
I can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
You can hear me, but I can't hear you. So let me see what I got to do. I think I got my headphones. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Got some headphones. See if I can plug in real quick. Got one plugged in. Might have to do it from the back of there. Give me a second, y'all. Give me 2 ticks. Plug the headphones in real quick. Oh shit. Hey E, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, I can hear you too. This is awesome. All right, my headphones work. I'm back in the game. Be good. Yes, headphones. Yeah. All right. All right. I had to get my headphones in order for us to do a show down here. So we good to go now. All right, we straight. So here we go. This is the Art of Lying, Degraded Humanity show. So, hey, E, I've been cooking for about a good. Let me see. We got about 22 minutes. You know what I'm saying? We got straight back here. We got you here now. We back, baby. So anyway, I've been cooking. So I want you to elaborate on this subject, the art of lying, degraded humanity show. But we're gonna give you the first whip moment um, because it has to do with how lying alters. It alters reality. It alters the absolute directions of progress. Lying is so destructive that you don't even understand how much progress could be made if so many lies weren't implemented and were basically Jagger and basically put a knife in the back of progress. How would you elaborate on that, my good sir?
Well, I would say this is when you say progress is really um, mutual progress, right? Or
Yeah, absolutely.
progress for large groups and different peoples to progress, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the argument could be made that all of the lies that Europeans and their descendants have made has done quite well for their progress. But
Oh,
humanity has not progressed, right? The world,
absolutely.
you know, they like to say that the world has progressed, but given when you look at one area of the world and how much they have, and then you look at another area of the world
Right.
and how little they have moved forward or progressed,
Mm.
then you can question the overall progress that they claim that mankind has made, right?
Yes, absolutely. I gotta tell TikTok I'll holler at them. They can't hear you. All right, we on YouTube now. Y'all follow me on YouTube. That's how you do that. Cause we on YouTube. Go ahead, my brother. Cook. Let them go.
So
Let them punches go.
the problem is lying does it only advances a small number, right? Like when even when you're in a relationship, if you lie to your partner, that lie normally only benefits you. It's not beneficial to the group or to both of you all,
Correct.
right?
Yes, sir.
So um that's the real problem, right? That lies make things uneven, right? That it
Ooh.
becomes it becomes uneven and it becomes an offset, and that's
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
problem.
Okay. All right. So you're ready for the next book moment. All right. So next book moment is lying is only to gain a specific attraction to something that you want, need, care for, or desire. So you would tamper with your soul, you would tamper with your well being, you would tamper with your mindset, you would tamper with how you, due to your desire, your selfish desires, you would tamper with all of what you are to attain and gain, not understanding how you're not adding, you're only retrieving, taking, and consuming. Tricking leaves people empty with a specific void that the people that love them and their responsibility is to what? Fill it. But what if they don't have a loved one? What if you have a bunch of soul suckers? Go ahead, AE.
Well, that's the effect, right? What you were talking about is the effect of what lying has, right? And I think there's two ways to look at it, right? Personally, that's the effect that it has on people personally, right? Then the overall effect is the effect among people, right? That whomever you've told this lie to, it's that total mistrust,
Mm.
right? And that is probably the thing that damages forward progress, right, as a whole.
Oh yeah, for
Because
sure.
um, when you're talking about groups of people, right, when you're talking about groups of people, then you're talking about distrust that develops on a almost, well, in a regional, then a global perspective, right?
Sure.
And when it reaches that magnitude, you're talking about thousands and possibly millions of people who have mistrust, right? And the prime example is France, right? France has bullied and lied and manipulated African countries as well as, and we can include Haiti as well,
Oh,
in
absolutely.
making them basically pay for their advancement, right?
Yes, indeed.
That they have gone into modernity on the backs of these people in these other countries.
Correct.
They have taken resources, not paid any taxes, and they even have forced a tax on Haiti for their freedom
Yes,
and
indeed.
their independence, right?
Yes, indeed.
And so those lives have a global effect. And so now, that's a prime example of what we're talking about when you lie on this much, much grander scale.
Ooh. Okay. So let's take it a little further in what we call lying on that grander scale. So now that we understand, let's take it back a little bit because I want people to understand the precipice of the old world. The precipice of the old world, we still have remnants of these things. It's called actuals, facts, truths, discoveries. Uh, when I'm telling you how you build something and how you carve everything, it has to be precise, pristine, ordained, divine, taking time, not rushing, or putting timelines. When you understand how to communicate with when you become divine, you know how to communicate with the unseen. So you understand those retrieving lessons that you're gonna get from the divine because you are divine. So you get that line, you get that line from on high. So when you get that line from on high, some people, this is why you can't give your pearls to swine. Some people love to aggrandize themselves and practice no humility. Some people have lived a life good enough, but they have to add to the to their success. Meaning, tell these aggrandized stories that they have read before them. See, that's where you get the uh, the King Arthurs and these all perpetuated copycat stories that you hear of medieval Egypt. I mean, medieval Europe, mind you, medieval Europe when it comes everywhere from to Scotland, British Isles, that stretches all the way through Russia. Those lands were owned. Those lands were indigenous to their black fathers. But when you become so aggrandized and you want to show your face so you can do the most formidable things on this planet, you have destroyed, uh, you have raped, robbed, pillaged um, indigenous lands, spiritual lands. Um, you have treated this planet as if it was a fucking toilet bowl for your pillage and pleasure. And now you was only able to do these things by your disrespect, your no connection to the planet, your willingness to destroy. We've never heard before the Caucasian. You've never seen or heard of a people saying, "I want to make Mother Nature my bitch," and that's your mama. See, when you have no connection to your mama and you have severed ties with your mama, that's the only way you can say some shit like that. Doctor, can you please add?
Okay, I think though it's in order to really discuss that, you have to understand the origins, right? And you put that book up several times, and I'm just going to refer to it because you've talked about it enough. I think that most of your audience um, can kind of grasp quicker. In the book Iceman Inheritance, right? it discusses that harsh reality that they had living in that environment, right? The coldness, the sitting in caves for days and weeks, having to go out into the tundra,
Formidable.
right? Into the tundra and trying to find some form of substance, right? Some food. And so what it does is, of course, it made them very individualistic. That's the intrapersonal. But what it did was it gave them this skewed perspective, well, this different perspective on the
All different.
environment, right?
Right.
Now the environment is their enemy
Oh,
and it
yes.
has to be conquered.
That's right.
And so that's where that whole thing where they're fighting against the environment and they don't understand how other people are in harmony with the environment and other animals because their existence began with this quote unquote nemesis, right? Where the environment was their nemesis. It was so harsh that they weren't one with the environment. They were actually um, in an adversarial position with the environment, right? And
We
so
all
that's
were, but I understand. I understand
right, but
yeah,
well,
yeah.
you have to understand the root of what you're saying and how
Right.
they got to that.
Absolutely.
So then
I
the
do.
question is now, see, now you can ask the question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why haven't you evolved
Right.
past
Let's
that?
see.
You have come in contact with other people. You
Mm-hmm.
have experienced much more pleasant environment. How is it that you have not evolved? Why is it where it's still this man versus environment and you feel like you have to conquer,
Right.
right? That's the real question. Why haven't you evolved past that?
Right. Absolutely. So, and I can, to be honest, like what you pretty much just pointed out as far as being ruggedized and also being individualistic is because you also pointed out scarcity and but also let's also take into the equations as even when, like you said, we're gonna keep it moving forward. Uh, you know your origins. You know who gave you language. You know English is not even supposed to be called English. It's Phoenician. It's phonics. It's a Phoenician dialect. But yet and still you have people that won't even tell the truth about this actual dialect and how powerful it was simply because it was not normally used, but they want to say it's a bastardized language, all these things. Yeah, that's not true. So when you understand that words are spells, and you can tell this because if you look at the state of the world and what Dr. A.E. just brought up, which, yeah, I have brought up multiple times, the Iceman's inheritance. Because that's when you say, I got this, I got it, I got the world all under control. Okay, you left everything for everyone when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to everything. You led them astray into your ideological pattern. And also, if you look at the Latinx community, the Latin community, and every other type of community around the world, guess what they predicate themselves upon? And guess how they feel like they should move about? And it's even have trickled over to Africa so bad that I wonder if Africa's on the purveyors of it. So we're looking at a whole dichotomy, a mindset, a way forward for people in today's world. Their forefront is to lie, to figure out the best goddamn lie they can figure out to move forward. Hey, E, can you add to that?
Well, I think the concept of creating the best lie to move forward actually lies in the concept that they have equated that with their survival. So once you have equated something with your survival, right, there's nothing you won't do, right? You throw two people in the pool, one can swim, the other one can't. They will climb all over the one that can and push them down or whatever it takes to keep their head above water. So um, I think that's the issue, right? When you have equated that these things with your survival, and that's
Mm.
where things turn, you know,
It'll go
ugly,
bad.
so to speak, and pretty much anything goes, right?
Yeah. But I mean, what happens when you make it that way? Even when, okay, I know the history of my people in this country, and you have the Siberian, which is the same as the British, which all of these people, you know, I'm talking about posing as white behavior. I mean, this is some mess that was going on in these times now. So you had Huguenots, you had whites, you had blacks, you had all of these ideologic. This you people need to really understand and put yourself in that actual specific point in time. This was an ideological mindset. Okay, this is some melanated people painted themselves white and wanted to be painted that because they understood ideologically what the times were moving into. They didn't do this shit because they were just no. They understand that they were being painted as a criminal and they wanted to keep their prestige and power. So everybody wanted to be light enough. This even happened in the Dominican Republic.
Right. But see
Yeah,
that comes down to what I just said
yeah.
though. It's because
I'm just elaborating.
they've equated it with survival though. They
Yes,
felt like that was their best way to survive. Just like in the movie Sinners, right?
yes,
The
straight up.
brother walked away from her because
Because
he knew
ooh,
they would always be in jeopardy
in
because
jeopardy.
people would see her as white and they would see them as an interracial couple and he would get lynched and she would in some cases she may end up lynched as well, right?
Absolutely,
And so
countless
as a
stories.
tactic of survival, he told her to go with a white man and he left her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she couldn't understand that because she thought that he just
She was in
abandoned
love.
her. But
She was
really,
in
what
love.
he
She
was
ain't seen
doing,
nothing past that. He was protecting her.
right?
Yeah.
What he was doing was giving her the best way
To,
to survive. And so I think that's a good
mm.
example of what we can look at in terms of globally. What
Oh yeah.
melanated people have done globally to survive. And so, yes, sometimes it did get ugly. Sometimes they made decisions that most people would not have, right? Um, and so there are some sad cases. When I say sad, I mean, sad for the progression of black people, right? And so that is what I think, you know, people have misconstrued this survival thing now, right?
Oh yeah.
Where they have done some unscrupulous things that thwart the advancement of their people. But they tell, oh, I had to eat. I had no. You wanted to eat well. You
That,
wanted to. You wanted
tell
a
the truth, man.
higher standing of living.
Straight up.
You know. And I'm just gonna call it like it is. Some people may get upset. This is my opinion. I'm giving it like it is. I watched it. I'm basing this on what I saw. You know, I look at Ice Cube, right? Now Ice Cube did all of this America's Most. He was with Farrakhan, all of that.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden he's coming back with this with as close as 70s black exploitation movies as you can make, right? And so in an interview, I watched him in an interview say when they asked him about this change, right? He
Yeah.
talked about the power of the government.
Mm.
And so what I had taken from that was, brother, if you scared, say you scared, that's fine.
Right.
But don't turn around and go start making these
Black
these
exploitation
movies, right?
2.0 movies, yeah. 3.0 movies, yeah.
Right, that are close to black exploitation as you can get.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
for real.
Don't sit around and go do that. So the equivalent, I can only guess was in his mind that was what he did to survive and to get some of these basic messages over. But I just don't believe that. I don't believe that you have to, you know, I don't believe that you have to dip or dig so deep on one side just to do some good on the other. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah, it's
know you
called
have
just
to make concessions at times, but you know, when
the
they
ends don't
do
justify
this
the means.
equivalent of they got to eat and all of that, it's not about you got to eat. You want that lifestyle. You want that. You know what I'm saying? You made all that money from NWA. You wanted more. Now,
Yeah,
call it
let's be
like it
clear.
is.
Let's be clear.
Let's not sit
So
there and talk like you were broke. You weren't broke.
you
You just
made you made
wanted
a
to do
conscious
this.
decision. You made a conscious
Right.
decision
You
to do
made a conscious
exactly
decision.
what
Exactly.
the fuck
Thank you,
you
brother.
wanted to do.
Yeah,
That's
you
what
made a
you did.
conscious decision.
So let's get to the next flip moment, my brother.
Okay.
So we talk about, as well as, with like how we say, we in this thing, we're gonna rock it till the wheels fall off. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna always be my first real alumni, other than shout outs to T.O. Clay, shout outs to a few people, shout out to Teffy, shout out to Fleur, shout out to my pop, shout out to all my, especially my wife, all my family. Y'all know y'all, my family members, my people. Y'all know who y'all are, but y'all rock with me. Y'all are my alumni. Shout out to K Ross. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my folks. But at the end of the day, you know, when it comes to who've been rocking with me since day one, since I came with you before this thing started, we said one thing, man. We said we had a lot in common. We like, I'm a Florida, Georgia boy. You a Georgia, Florida boy. You know what I'm saying? We have so many commonalities and we're seamless when dealing with each other. So, I mean, those type of things don't come very often in people's life. And you got some people, they grew up together, had something good, started something like NWA. I love 8 Ball of MJG. I love UGK. I love, people that had a strong ideology. And you know what I'm saying? Regardless of what, they made it a purpose to, regardless of what they had going on, show up because they understood and they believed in what the other person was trying to do. Because at least they can do is say, "Hell, they gonna help me, just like I'm helping you." And I told you, you help me. You know what I'm saying? This has been such a great interchangeable relationship, my people, is because you're dealing with two grown men that have proper mindsets, great ideologies. Don't agree on specifically everything, but simply when we have these thorough conversations that we do have in front of you and behind the scenes, because we actually have a behind the scenes relationship. We're good friends. And we talk, we discuss things. But you know what we don't do? We never degrade. We move forward with our mind and understanding that the other person does have a proper thought. They have a proper perspective. They can think. So you combine those assets and you move forward with your mindset. That's just like what we were discussing about, knowing how individualistic everybody is now. We have to protect ourselves in a place to where, shit, hey, we can't be taken advantage of simply because of our position in geography, in life, who we are, how we came up, who we know, and who we respect and who we know respect us. So we can't go no further than what we allow. So, AE, can you elaborate, please? How can we keep the kind of relationship we built? How can we populate that with the same type of authenticity?
It's consistency, right?
Yeah.
That's the key. Is consistency, right? Um, I once had a woman, you know, that I was interested in when I was younger, right? Who admitted later on that she didn't take me seriously, right? But my consistency in who I was and showing my interest in her, right? Now, I moved on because it took her too long, to make up mind up, or it took her too long to recognize my consistency or whatever. But the point is, the consistency in it was what changed, right?
Mm,
And it's the same thing, right? Whether we like it or not, um, history showed us, right, that the consistency of the civil rights movement, right, was what garnered more support for it, right?
right,
Because people kept seeing these nonviolent demonstrations. They kept hearing these um, these speeches that were along the same lines, that kept going in this one direction, in that consistency, right? And so, you know, um, it took a while. Most people don't know that the first actual sit-in at a counter, right,
right.
actually took place in the late 40s, and
Mm,
it wasn't in the South. But we give all the credit was when the news got there in Greensboro, North Carolina, because it happened to these young students and it happened to children, right, who
right.
participated. And so that doesn't happen until the 60s. But they have been doing these sit-ins in different places for years, right?
Right.
That consistency finally won some people over, right? In terms of joining the movement, and not just white people, but black people. Some black people weren't with it.
That's true. What it was, 37% of blacks supported Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. 37% in this time. That's it. That's it.
So the point is the consistency. We are consistent in terms of how we discuss things, right? The fact that we don't agree on every issue is not the point. It is not for us to agree on everything. It is for us to come together with these opposing views and then come out and work something out, because that's what it takes, right?
Yeah.
It takes coming together and working it out. And we consistently do that, so that even when we don't agree, our conversations still are consistent in that we come up with viable information and we come up with common approaches to common problems and issues. We may be coming from totally end of the spectrum, two different ideas of how to get there, two different opinions on how we got there. But bringing all of that to the table, we consistently come up with rational, plausible ways in which we can deal with different issues.
What I got to say to that is I just can appreciate how you phrased and made that. That was said eloquently. I appreciate you. Yeah. But guys, I hope you appreciated the show tonight. Of course, we're coming to the conclusion. See, sometimes the way to the way to being is. I always say this, and I know I phrase it a many different type of ways, but the way of being is just being yourself. Just that simple. You don't have to alter. You don't have to persuade. Authenticity is the name of the game. All you have to do is be the best version of yourself. And what's wrong with trying a little harder, digging a little deeper, being a little nicer? You know, I've been given that this past couple of weeks. I've been told to um, practice a more kinder way of communicating. And I won't tell you that I'm going to be extremely consistent at that due to the fact that this show is an experience, okay? But what I can tell you is what I can strive to do is make sure I continue what I continue to try to do, and especially with my brother Dr. A. What is going to continue to be done is giving you some of the best, accurate conclusion solutions to situations that actually happen for real and in real time. We don't fabricate. We don't. We don't. We don't fabricate, and we don't. We don't do things like. What is that thing that people do? They pretend. That's what it is. People pretend, and they become very pretentious. So we keep it real. We keep it. We keep it just, knowledge filled, edutainment at its finest is what we want to give you here. So, Dr. A, E, you got any last words before we conclude?
Um, no, I think that we touched on a couple of things in terms of um, the sincerity in which we go about our business, right? And that when I say our business, I mean everyone, right? So the lying is the opposite of that, and how it only benefits one person or one group of people when you do that, right? And so then we then shifted this conversation toward how um, our repertoire in terms of how we talk both on the podcast and in person in private, without any lying, without any of the pretentiousness and all of that. Not and with sometimes two opposing ideologies. It still is an honest movement that we consistently do and bring to people, which demonstrates how we should all move forward in dealing with issues that affect our lives, right? If there's an issue that affects you, it affects me, we got two different opposing ideas on it, but we got to come together because we both have to deal with it.
That's the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Now you get my favorite part because I have no more words to add. Check it out. Say it with me. Come on now.
The will is yours.
You better not never forget that shit, guy.